have a democracy. Hong Kong can at best have a democratic system of government.
The gradual democracy we have within these 11 years will be a positive element we should build in.
We would like a system where all sectors of Hong Kong society is represented in the selection of the chief executive.
Basic Law drafters at its third meeting this month will discuss Hong Kong's future political structure. Tonight on Focus. Recently, Hong Kong is alive with another vigorous debate over its future political system. On Sunday, at Koshan Theater, a joint conference of more than 90 political and community groups called for direct elections in a mass rally attended by more than 1,000 people. This coalition joined together representatives from the Democratic camp and religious bodies, and also some LegCo members. It called for direct elections for 25% of the Legislative Council seats in 1988, to be increased to 50% by 1997. On the selection of the chief executive after 1997, it proposed that candidates should be nominated by a percentage of LegCo members and selected by universal suffrage.
We think that the high degree of autonomy of the self-administration of Hong Kong up to 1997 has to be built in. I mean, a certain kind of positive factors has to be built in before 1997, before we can have the high degree of autonomy by up to 1997. And that is why we think the gradual democracy we have within these 11 years will be a positive element we should build in.
2 days later, 71 Basic Law Consultative Committee members, comprising mainly of businessmen and professionals, called a press conference to announce their proposal on how to elect the future chief executive. They suggested that a 600-people grand electoral college should select a 20-member nomination committee, which in turn named 3 candidates for the chief executive post. The remaining of the electoral college will then choose a chief executive. The proposed electoral college includes the Legislative Council, industrial community, social, charitable, and sports organizations, labor, professionals, urban council, regional council, and district boards, statutory bodies and permanent non-statutory bodies, financial community, commercial community, civil service, religious and educational community. That will make up a grand total of 600 members of the Electoral College.
If you remember from the joint declaration, there are really 2 methods of selection of the chief executive. One is by consultation, which our group feel is inappropriate. The other one is by election. Now, we feel that the system that we have recommended is less prone to confrontational politics. And it's, on the other hand, it still gives a very balanced and wide representation of all sectors of Hong Kong society. And therefore, we think that it is more conducive to preserving Hong Kong's prosperity and stability.
Much of the debate in arguing the method of the selection of the post-1997 chief executive is pointed at whether the future government should be led by the executive arm or whether a strong, dominant legislature is more desirable.
While many people are discussing what sort of political system will best serve Hong Kong after 1997, a BLDC member warned that even under the one country, 2 systems formula, Hong Kong can at best have a system of exchanging views and not true democracy.
Liu Yu-Chu, a lawyer with tight China links, says that unless Hong Kong elects its own representatives to the Chinese National People's Congress, the people of Hong Kong will not have true democracy in the Western sense.
Now, if we're going to have one country, two system, and we keep talking about politics, we must bear in mind that politics should mean the exercise of the political rights of the citizens of the People's Republic of China under the one country, two system formula. And so, if we want to attain that high ideal, we should allow ourselves enough time to develop a system whereby the delegates to the People's Congress from Hong Kong will be elected directly in Hong Kong. That is the basic of democracy. Because Hong Kong cannot have a democracy. Hong Kong can at best have a democratic system of government, but not a democracy. Only the whole country can have democracy.
These two groups, the BLCC and the Democratic Coalition, which defines democracy from their own perspectives and are seen to be holding almost diametrically opposed political views, have one aim in common.
I think this political rally will demonstrate our unity and strength and cooperation, and we put forward our proposal all together, and we will try to do some follow-up work. We try to put forward our proposal to the Basic Law Drafting Committee and the Consultative Committee as well. We hope certain kind of influence can be exerted on them.
Well, the duty of the Basic Law Consultative members is to make the views of ourselves and our constituents known to the Basic Law Drafting Committee. And therefore, obviously, we have to let them know before the next deliberations. On top of that, since our first press conference where we gave a broad outline of our proposal, which includes the proposal for Electoral College, obviously there was a need for us to explain how this Electoral College is going to come about and the actual nomination and election process for the Chief Executive.
They hope to create a last-minute impression on the Basic Law Drafting Committee political subgroup, now meeting in Xinjiang.